All right, so hopefully this is recording my whole screen so that I can block parts of the PDF. I think because Screencastify was working at the same time Overleaf, which is this stuff, was happening, I think that's what caused it to go down and the server to go down so much, because it didn't do that when I was typing this up. So we'll do this instead. I typed it up. It's already posted. So now working on the video. So this is for 8.5. In your foldable, this will be on the only two boxes that we have left. So sigma notation is what goes on that flap on the outside. The geometric series is what goes on the outside of that flap, and same thing with arithmetic series on the previous flap that we did and I forgot to tell you about. On the inside, sigma notation is the mirror image of the arithmetic one. So sigma notation is supposed to go on the outside panel, the part of the flap, and on the inside one that just stays put is the partial sum formula. So sigma notation, as you have your sigma, the index was starting with 1, it goes up to n, and then we have our first term, and you have your common ratio, because this is for geometric series, and we have our index minus 1 for our exponent. This is the sum of the first n terms, because that's our upper bound of a geometric sequence. So summing it is actually a series. If I know the end bound, then a partial sum is what I'm going to be dealing with here, where a sub 1, again, is the first term, r is your common ratio, and we'll do more of the infinite stuff with the sigma notation and converging and diverging. We'll do more of that in 8.7. The last section, 8.7, because that's infinite series. So dealing with series here, 8.6 will be loans, so seeing more of a real-world application, and then 8.7 is infinite. What do we do with converging and diverging? So example 1, this is what your book is saying. A geometric series is starting with 4, and then you're adding to that 4 times 3, you're adding to that 4 times 3 squared, adding to that 4, you get the picture. So what is the common ratio? Pause the video and figure it out. All right, the common ratio is 3. My first term is 4. So again, we now know enough information to plug it in. We also know how many terms there are. You can count. That is one way, or it tells you that there's 5 because it's S sub 5. So knowing that, our formula method, we know our first term, we know our common ratio, we know the number of terms. So we employ all those numbers in and boom, get out using our formula. The second method, example 1, wants us to try is to write an expression. So I will pause it here so that you can figure that out. Or you pause it, I can't pause it. Part B, hopefully you try to figure something out in your calculator and you played around with it. But if you didn't know how to do it, this is how you do it with your calculator. On new calculators, it's a lot quicker for a notation. So click math on the left-hand side of your calculator, scroll until you see the word summation. It should be 0. It was on 0 on my calculator. And then just fill in the pieces because you can see all the blanks. You can type it in really quick. If you have an older calculator, you need to use lots of commas. So it's a lot more steppy of a process. I'll move this down a little bit more. Okay, so click second stat, takes you to list forms. Do math, so arrow over to that column. Click on sum. Now you have sum now on your main screen. Go back to second stat because we need a second operation. So go to ops and then click sequence. So you should now have sum of a sequence. And then this is your generic stuff. The argument, which is this stuff here, which apparently, I think I'm missing some. Maybe I'm not. Oh, I think I put the wrong stuff in. Okay, I will fix it here though. So argument is this stuff here. Variable in this case will be k. Well, you have x on your calculator, so keep in mind it'll be x. Lower bound, which will be 1, where our index is starting. Upper bound is where our index is ending at 5. So this should not be actually in your argument field. The argument field should be 4, which is the first term, times 3, the common ratio, to x minus 1. This should be your argument. Do not put this. I don't know where my marking stuff went. Oh, there it is. Well, that's only marking in Chrome. Okay, well, I have 12 seconds, so I will end it on this example. But you should click enter and be able to get the 484 from before. See you example 2.